Here we go.
I was
Got some
always
got
going to
some
be in the way.
cookbooks.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get cooking.
Let's get booking and let's get cooking with Molly and me. Okay. I might put pants on, but probably not. Okay. Um,
Pants.
get a leg up on it. All right, here's what I wanted to start with that I just found in my notes.
Okay.
First of all, welcome back. Hello, my name is Laura. This is my
Hi.
friend Molly. Just
Get a
introduced you for
load.
yourself.
Get a load. This guy.
Get a load of her.
Still trying to get a load of herself in this setup. All right.
Okay, here's this. The way other people feel about me is none of my business when I know I'm keeping my side of the street clean.
Okay.
Somebody might be upset with me if I create a boundary or I say no to something,
Mm-hmm.
and they might feel a type of way. But if I'm taking care of myself and I'm not being mean, cruel, I'm keeping my side of the street clean with honesty and integrity, then what they think about me, really none of my business.
Correct.
Anyway, I just had to get in there with that.
I was thinking about this while I was doing my makeup, and then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna put on my glasses. So I stopped at my eye makeup, mid eye makeup, and then because I'm like, oh, let's be all natural. This is me, who I am as a human.
With a lip.
But we're talking about fashion, so maybe I should practice what I preach.
You
We
always
talked
do
about
anyway.
like putting on something that makes you feel good, whatever, and sometimes that's just makeup.
Yes, 1,000,000%.
But then I'm, because we're second guessers always. I'm like, criticizers be criticizing
Criticizers
everything
gonna
I do.
criticize.
It's like, oh, that lip color makes her look really old.
Um,
You
that's
know what
why
I'm
I said
saying?
other people's feelings about me are none of my business when I
Yes.
know I'm keeping my side of the street clean. I like my lip. It's good enough for me. Everybody else is going to have an opinion on it. None of my business. Go ahead
My
and have your opinion.
my advice is clean your glasses for an hour. My advice is, I don't know. If you knew me, you'd know that I was an open book about literally everything. There's nothing I'll be like, no, I'm not going to answer that, or talking about criticizers out there,
Yeah.
the typing kind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. Do I want
What
to talk
they've
about
said has been already thought about 1,000,000 times in this brain. So it's not like it's anything new
right?
they're throwing at us.
Right.
But
That
it's different with
right.
you because you were a public facing figure for a while, and people think they have the right to tell you your whole life.
Right.
We don't have to get into it if you don't want to.
No.
Okay.
Or because or maybe not. We don't need to. It's just it's not hearing something bad about myself or someone saying, there's a lot. There's a lot. Is this okay? This reflection with the windows?
I think it's fine.
Should I
Yeah.
get okay? You're like, just shut up.
No, I think it's
Um,
great.
these,
Attention
what are they
seeking.
called? Like keyboard crusaders?
Yes. Trolls,
Sure.
not coffee, not
Whatever.
British.
Whatever, right? Like if I didn't care, if I didn't want to see it, I wouldn't look or whatever, or I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, just close my eyes forever. Perfect. Oh, just sleep forever.
Yeah.
Um,
Lead forward, choose onto something with that.
but what kills me is when I can't, me, I'm like, oh, I have to correct that. That's
Right.
not right. So all the like
Yeah.
comments about my face or all of the comments about my fucking looks, what else would they comment on that? You're not yapping it up down the runway, but it's that I can't correct and be like, no, 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 I didn't do that. Nope, nope,
Right.
and nope, nope. And you're still going on about it, which is fine, but it was wrong here, and it's just wrong, 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 wrong. Whatever. Now I just spiraled.
It's not easy to let people be wrong about you on the internet because you want to go in and be like,
Yes.
actually,
Yes, thank you.
in
Don't be wrong about
fact,
me. What do you want to know? Ask me.
and
Literally.
also, yeah, like I will answer, and
Fix
also,
this.
like,
Also, let's take a ride around the
oh,
room.
right
Just you.
around the room.
All right.
She's very
I'm
cute.
sorry. I am so sorry.
No,
This
it's
should just
fucking
be
great.
called ADHD takes over.
.com.
Right. Dot.
Yeah.
Dot.
Did we
Dot
mention
ADHD.
we both have ADHD? Dot
Dot.
ADD. So
Okay,
that's
here's a good
okay.
question. Let's chat about this. ADHD, right? And how we see that it can come from, now we see that it can come from specific things that happened in childhood, right? Or you just, I swear Rue was just born with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's a good topic for us. Narcissistic abuse.
Yes. Narcissistic abuse creates trauma, traumatic stress can be a factor in developing ADHD, right?
Correct.
Now, I've never been officially diagnosed. My therapist said I have it, but I have a friend, maybe we could have her on at some point, my Marissa, who she went and had all the tests done and she was officially got the diagnosis. She was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? She's like, now everything makes sense. And I, understand myself more. And also, I also was grown up like, I think we were like the first generation in the 80s where people were medicating kids sometimes, or, late 70s, like Ritalin was like thing, or ADHD, but like it was, it was always framed as like, you're born like that, you either have it or you don't. But it was never framed like childhood trauma could
Right.
be a factor. And now as we're older,
You're getting all the like, aha.
aha, got it, because the hypervigilance and the
All
stress and the lack
all
of
of it.
safety, and it will, for me, it's like my mind just
Focus. Focus. It's just, I'm just going far away, and I'm sorry.
just be far.
I'm far.
I can be far.
I'm just far. Fargo. All right.
So, Fargo.
I apologize. We'll
Here's
cut
the
that.
thing. We'll cut it all. Just will be 1 minute of us just both apologizing for a full 60 seconds. You and I, we have a history. We've known each other more than 2 decades, even though we're only 25. I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah.
We met when we were like 4. We also bonded. We bonded because we like music the same. We have a similar sense of humor. We love to party and dance and sing and have fun. We love self-expression. We're both creative people. And also, when we met each other, we were both in relationships with narcissistic exes.
Humans.
I mean, they're human, but they weren't acting very humane. So we bonded over that because, like, I could tell your shit was like, wow, my friend is so cool. This person is a jackass. And you could probably be like, wow, my friend's great. Why is she fucking with this schmohawk?
Yeah.
But we're both in it, and it was very hard to see it for myself. But I have a ton I want to say about it, but I just want to see how you felt. And I know, before you say anything, that our shared childhood trauma set us up. Since you and I were like, we were raised with narcissists, like teachers, authority figures, family figures. For me, it was almost every adult I came into contact with, right?
Yeah.
So that set me up to accept abuse or think abuse was love and be confused my whole life. So by the time we met, we were both like in the shit.
and the shit. I will say this before I say this. Perfect.
Yep.
She's a fucking genius. People talk about it, right? And people don't. And I want to talk about for a second why we don't talk about it. And a
Narcissistic
lot
abuse?
of, yes,
Yes. Okay.
specifically in a relationship where outsiders can be like, we'll just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which is all where all this fear comes from, because then it's like I can't say anything because then I'm just playing a victim, blah blah blah. It wasn't this, it wasn't, no, she's lying. Just all of the things. So I will talk about this relationship all fucking day.
Till the cows come home.
Because let there be shame. Because I don't know. Shame is so freaking isolating. All of it's very isolating. I don't even know when we started talking about it. Probably when I decided not to marry mine and you were like, "Oh, thank fucking God."
No, we talked about it before then because I knew we had talked about how
Right, because when we
you were
lived
supporting
together,
him.
I was we were on a break of
But
one of
also
many.
you were like financially supporting this person while he
Well,
pursued his dreams.
well, yeah,
And
I
I
don't.
was like, huh, but I was doing the same thing. I was financially contributing to my ex.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, I was this like starving artist who was like working in a restaurant and or an office to like make ends meet. Yet somehow I'm giving every last dollar to this guy. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so we started to very slowly uncover it within each other, and also you and I, we can do the small talk, but we get below the surface. We get to the good stuff real quick. So I think
Yeah.
it didn't take us long to be like, huh. But there's a lot of shame. So I love that you said that, and I want to go back to it because I
Okay.
fucking love talking about this shit too, and I will talk about this forever. Like give me any day, we got you. Like
Yeah.
because
Give me an.
it shines the light on the shame, and it makes it go away, in a
Mm,
way, because I
mhm.
feel more seen, I feel heard, I feel validated, and I
Yeah,
feel
you
like
don't feel alone.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And like this is something worth discussing. I think keeping family secrets and accepting narcissistic abuse in our childhoods and be having to be quiet about
Mm.
it set me up to protect abusers and be quiet about narcissistic abuse in my 20s. Um,
Oof.
so talking about it is a way to completely break the cycle because nobody talked about shit.
Yeah.
And also,
And you
yeah,
don't, yeah, and you're not like, this is what's happening while I'm in it.
sometimes. I
Yeah,
mean, I
but you
had
did
a
what?
friend tell me, like, if you keep complaining about this person and not leaving
Yeah.
them, I can't be friends with you anymore. Which I totally understand that
Yeah.
because I was just griping, but that I wouldn't take the action. So I would tell, but that was really hard for me at the time because all I just
It's really
wanted was just
hard.
to be able to talk about it. And I'm finally opening up about it, and then you're telling me you can't handle it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, and I don't have the strength or the confidence enough to walk away right now. So that's not even
Mm.
an option. And when I was in a narcissistic relationship, I was told I'm playing the victim. I was told I'm too sensitive. So
Yeah.
it's not like, these are things reinforced from my childhood. So I'm like, oh, I need to stick this one out and shut up and
Yeah.
stop playing a victim. And nobody's going to believe me anyway.
Right. But in somewhere in that is also being with someone that, well, they're like this because of this, and I can help and I can fix.
I feel bad for them. They are going through so much. I
Mhm.
might as well just be there. And if I leave, I'm harming them. Who am
Yeah.
I to harm a chicken? Anything. And some people in narcissistic abusive relationships, their partner will threaten self-harm or even suicide to continue to manipulate and keep the partner.
Yes.
So there's that. So it's like, fuck. I mean, it's
So,
everywhere. So the narcissistic, it's not just like my ex. It was like bosses. It was work
correct.
situations. It's pervasive. Roommates. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
So you can't leave every situation necessarily. I couldn't just up and leave every job because I had no money and I needed the job. But now I realize I could have had more compassion for myself and
Oof.
realized that I don't deserve this bullshit. I deserve to be loved the way I want to be loved. And I'm not asking for too much. I'm asking for the bare minimum of respect that I
Yeah.
give. But also, I will shut up after this. Not true. Um, I was like, this is all I deserve. This is all I'm used to. And if I don't take care of this person, I'm a terrible person.
This is what I know, and this is how I know love, and this is how I know that I'm being loved, right? So I was a kid. I was a teenager, a preteen. I don't know. I was 15. We'll just say it. Mention it all. So I just transferred like over, just completely was like, okay. And that was love bombing, which I'd love to just talk about love bombing because that I think that's where it starts.
Why it's important we also talk about it so other people can like, oh shit, I'm experiencing that in my own life.
Mhm, mhm,
That's not normal. That's
mhm.
abusive. And like I nobody ever talked about love bombing when you were in our 20s. So I didn't
No,
know what I was
no.
experiencing was love bombing. I just thought this person
Same. Do you remember the day that you were
loves
like,
me. Yeah, I was like, oh, everything fucking changed.
what is all this? Your life just went.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
back
Go on.
to the tape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roll
I
back.
just thought this person is really into me really quick and wants to be with
Yeah.
me all the time. And
Uh-huh.
wow, amazing. Maybe I found my
Mhm.
person. And then like for me, it took like, I think it was about 2 months into it when I started getting weird jealousy. And I was just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
where's the nice guy? And then it just
Getting
declined
like
after
I'm
that.
touching my face with my cold hands because my face is getting hot just talking about it. In a good
That's a
way.
lot.
Let's yeah. I just got to keep rearranging. But keep going. I'm so sorry.
That's it. No, that you go. I mean, I'm just saying
No, yeah.
I didn't realize it was love bombing. Love bombing for people who are not familiar, it's like when you're like showered with affection or gifts or praise or just things that seem loving, but
Mhm.
then it's kind of used as a bargaining chip, taken
Yes.
away, used against you, turned
Mhm.
against you, and then
And it's all
removed.
under that like manipulation and uh,
Also, hurt people, right? So it's true that both of our exes came from their own childhood trauma. We
yes,
knew that because we've shared that.
right.
So that's also why I made so many excuses for people in my childhood
Same.
who were abusive
Immediately
to
it's
me
like, oh,
because I know your life. You've told me your whole backstory. I get it, and like, it's amazing you're even this nice to me. And so I made excuses for this person in particular
honey.
because I'm like, I know what you've been through and it fucking sucks.
Mm,
Like,
mm,
you
mm,
deserve love. But then it was
mhm,
like the missing link to me was, well, how come I don't deserve love? Why do I think this person
mhm.
deserves love? How come I'm buying this person a computer and going into debt and I don't even have like what's going on
Yeah,
here?
yeah, yeah.
That was the missing thing for me. Nobody told me any of this shit.
Yeah. Where now it's like, it's really sad. Um, it's really sad.
It's really sad. But here's the thing. You and I went through childhood trauma, and in our relationship with each other, we were not abusing each other. We were not putting each other down. And it was not love bombing because the love was consistent and it was like, it wasn't just like taken away or, so I knew and I know it's possible to be a survivor of childhood trauma and not to take it out on somebody else in the future. Right.
Yeah.
But I made excuses for this person. And, I wish I would have been like, life is short.
Yeah.
You are wasting your 25-year-old body on this motherfucker. Like, go, there are plenty of bros and hoes and loves.
Like, yeah, plenty of what?
Bros and hoes and loves and schmoes. There are so many people out there. And, my fear was I'll never have the same connection. The connection was the love bombing also.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Was it authentic? I don't know, because I wasn't being authentic either. I see my part in this too. Yes, I came from childhood abuse, blah, 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 blah. However, I wasn't being authentic with my own needs, my own wants, and what was okay. I was just letting things happen. And I was like giving this emotional intimacy, but I wasn't receiving it back. And I wasn't I wasn't being honest about like, wait a minute, I need more and I want more.
Yeah. And when you would get that little piece, it was,
yeah, there it is.
Because it's like drugs. It's like you're looking for that initial love bombing. I remember within the first couple of months. Now remember, I'm 15. This person's older. They have a car. That's so cool. Someone with a car.
Totally.
And an upperclassman. And after a few months, my friends were like, you're different. Like, you're just different. I'm like, what, she's like, you're just so much more quiet, which also goes back into our like
keeping ourselves down.
Right. But I was so excited to have someone like me that much, as the girl who failed PE because she wouldn't dress out because everyone would make fun of her skinny legs, or, it was that girl. It was that girl with braces where your first kiss is like, oh, ouch, your braces hit me.
18 years old. Yeah.
Right.
Just desperate for love. Give me
desperate. Yes. And just seeing like everyone get into high school and like, I'm like, I'll just always be the friend. And I was the friend. And I meet this fucking guy. And what a waste. So so I fell right into that, right? So even after, you're changing, it's different. I'm like, you're right, this is weird, it's awful. I broke up with him. And that was my first, there you go. Your first idea is always the best one. I was like, this guy is fucking crazy. Like, he's trying to take away my friends. He wrote me a poem and like set up this whole thing in my like this whole
to get you back.
Yes. So of course I'm like, what? You wrote me a poem about me? You took time? And that was it. That was like just the end of everything for me. I became so quiet. I became so fearful. And I feel like this can take us maybe into lying. And this is another thing that is like, you don't talk about that. You don't who's going to tell someone that they're a liar. Hi, I'm Mollie, and I'm a recovering liar.
Totally.
Because of situations when you're little and being hyper vigilant and the fear of the question being asked or whatever it is, I'm going to say, we used the example earlier. Oh, I took this path home today and not the shady path that gets us home quicker.
From school.
Right, from the school bus. I'm going to say this because this one, taking the sidewalk the whole way sounds safer. So no matter what mood you're in, that's the safest thing to say. So it was a lot of like saying things pending mood. And then it was just saying things. Then it just became that. It became that in my relationship. So much so that this example is so specific. We were all, myself, my boyfriend at the time, and this was still in high school, and I was driving. So I was maybe 16. We're all hanging out outside of a friend's house, just drinking beer, smoking Camel Lights. And I went to take a friend home. And as I was backing out, I stalled my car because it was a stick shift car. And I like my whole body right now is heating. I was so embarrassed because I saw him and his friends all laughing. So I go and I take my friend home. I come back. And of course, the first thing I say was like, oh, I dropped my cigarette and the car stalled. And then later it's like this, and this is weird. Like you checked on it. You checked on that answer. It was like, she said you never dropped your cigarette. Ooh. Which then validates me being like, oh my gosh, he's gonna. You did. You
I'll just have to become a better liar.
This was the early 90s. No one's texting each other.
Right.
Bullshit. Like there's so many things now that I'm like, bullshit. That didn't, bullshit. And those are like new revelations that I will have till the day I die. So anyways, lying, right? Lying, going into relationships, lying about fucking everything. I remember
we had to be liars
in New York. Cut to, I was with this person for 9 years. So all of this is, cut. So we moved to New York together, and
that's when I met you guys.
Saving dollars. Yes, I supported him, but also like while he was in school, the rent was paid. So I was supporting what outside of that. So I don't just
spending money or whatever.
I would save little, tips or whatever to go to Chinatown to buy a pair of sandals, to go, or whatever it was. Yeah. And just like hiding money, yeah. So meeting my husband was funny because I remember being like, did you lie about that? And I was like, I did. And that was like the end of it. It was just the end of it. It was also a start over and like be who I want to be and not be some version of me that someone wants me to be or is telling me to be. So like with that, there was, I don't need to be a liar. I'm going to be this person. I'm going to be this person now. And if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you the answer, whether you like it or not.
And you may not like the level of truthfulness.
Like, that's really hard. That's also like, that's also really fucking hard. But yeah, so it took me, I met Chris when I was 24, 25. So that's how long it took me to be like, oh my God, I'm a liar. Mm-hmm. And oh my God, all these years of just trying to say what's going to make the other person not have a bad reaction.
Well, that's what we were raised. If we didn't lie, our bodily harm would have been even more than it already was. The violence would have been even more intense than it was. So I know I had to develop my ability to lie from a young age for self-preservation and safety. And I didn't realize until later that like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore and I don't need to do this. Yeah. Now I'm like honest to a fault. I'm not perfect at all, but I'm work in progress of trying to be more authentic and honest because I don't want to be a liar. Also, I had to be a liar because I had to keep the secrets of my household and community of all the abuse that was happening. And I learned to protect abusers young. So when I went into this relationship with this guy, when we met, I was protecting whatever was going on between us
Yeah.
because I didn't want to cause further harm to this already traumatized person's life. So I was murdering my own life
To make
to
theirs easier.
correct. And it doesn't work, and it was never good enough, which was very familiar for me to be told no matter what I
Mhm.
did, it's not good enough. So I would keep trying harder, but then it was like in the back of my mind I always knew, I'm like, this is not okay, this is not
No.
cool, I'm not enjoying this, like.
And it back to embarrassing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just back to embarrassing for me. Like you were talking about your friend, and my ex and I also had like a group of friends, and it was basically like, so we would go out on a Saturday night, and we would all like take a taxi, not an Uber, take a taxi back to our friend's house, which was like the party house, and they had, spare beds and couch, right? It was that place. And they had to be like, you guys can't come back here with us if you're fighting, because we would drink,
Mm.
we would fight, like horribly, horribly fight. I feel like,
We have less than a minute, but that's also a pattern we grew up with, fighting as a way of life
um,
in our childhoods,
yeah, I have
which
so
we don't
much
want
to
anymore.
say.
We Yeah, we can talk about this again, but this is going to end any minute.
Yeah,
I just love you so
put a
much, and
pin in it. Put a pin.
whoever's going through this, just know you can stay as long as you need to
Yes.
until you feel ready to leave. You can reach out for help. You deserve help. You deserve support. You deserve to be loved, and all the ways that you want to be loved. And you can find that love in yourself. You don't need to look out there for it, no matter how old you are. I
And
never.
abuse doesn't have to be physical.
Mm,
Like,
mm.
please understand that it doesn't have to be physical.